Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Ready, 280. 59, 22. Cut. Hey, alert 3. Check. Work twist. Wait.
Ito Smith, his first carry. And some space here. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Falcons. Ito Smith, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Wow, first play of the game, CD, 75 yards. These people, they haven't even filed in yet from the tailgate lots.
Everyone talks about starting out fast. Everyone talks about getting explosive-type plays. That was absolutely a thunderbolt. And on the defensive side, he spent all week scheming, all week preparing, and it seems like it goes right out the window.
Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30.
Ready. 45 to Mike. Check. 45 to Mike. Here we go, D. Here I come again.
Throwing on first down. Costello. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 17 there, and a New Orleans first down. A big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hey, exit. 54, right there. Ready?
To throw on second down. Costello. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone, and that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. To throw again, Ryan. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
First down. Ready, 280. 56. Get him. Hey, 59, ready. 55.
They'll throw on first down with Ryan. Looking sideline, incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
He's coming. We got double up.
Running the jet sweep with Ridley. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from the 1.
Hey, bye-bye. Check. Lucky. Check.
Here we go now with Smith. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Ito Smith, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Falcons push further out in front. Bullet good on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
On 1st down, Costello. He gets this complete to Shaheen, the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. From the gun, Costello. And this one complete to Smith. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
45, Mike, 45. Hey, let's get some penetration here.
On the ground, Kamara. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Makes it 3rd and 2.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he's got the 1st before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Got what he needed for the 1st down with a gain of 2.
When you're dead last in the NFL in 3rd down conversions, the odds are against you every time you face it. How about him picking up that one? That was big for them.
You ain't going nowhere.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. In for the sack, Deion Jones.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but Let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
2nd and long. He's got Smith here. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 29-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
This quarterback now rebounding nicely after the interception. He's hit 4 straight to start the drive. It's first down. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
6-6, pull it hard.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 28-yard line.
5.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Costello flushed out right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead.
Alpha. Ready.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Costello. Buying time to his left. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And Lutz's kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
Like
Come on, what does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 14 yards there and a Falcon first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now it's Ryan. And that's incomplete. He released that awkwardly. It almost looked like a pitcher who gripped his fastball a little too hard and let it go late, and it bounced in front of the plate.
Yeah, one of those fastballs that ends up at 57 feet, not 60 feet, 6 inches. Just a little short with the arm, which is unusual because we saw him in warm-ups. He's got a big, strong arm when he delivers it with confidence.
On the draw, this is Smith. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They keep it with Smith on first down. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done.
I can say this from experience, especially from a defensive back's perspective. There's not many things more terrifying than a toss sweep or a pitch play and all that beef out in front of the runner.
Yeah, I had an old coach say 3 words on those plays, toss or pitch. Set the edge, heard him over and over.
A lot of times they roll the edge, and when they do that, that's why you can go for a long way.
And down inside the 15 he goes. 10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons.
First down.
Ready. Back 25.
It's on field. It's on field. Hey, it's on out.
Check 54, south. Hey, south, 11. Hey, gun. 56. Check, pick it up.
From the red zone now, here's Ryan on first down. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Blue draw corker. Smooth.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. And he takes this just about a yard shy of the 20. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
On first and 10, Costello finds his man, Watson, over the middle. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there at 22.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10.
53, check 53. Come on, D. Let's go. Let's hit it.
From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And Kamara has it stripped, and the Falcons grab it. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
From the 34 now, here's first and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Costello under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Deion Jones able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Second and 15. Able to find Shaheen here. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down. On third down, here's Kamara. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process.
We go. Let's
see what you got. Mike, 53. 53, Mike. Check the outs, check the outs.
Hey, Charlie.
53 to Mike. 53, check 53.
Let's go.
Throwing on first down. Costello. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A minute 55 left to go in the first half of play. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be second and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Here's a second and 7. To the goal line. line, but it's incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
Mike 54. Mike 54. You're not ready. You're not ready.
Hey, Haywood.
Right there. 54. Right there.
Ready?
From the gun on third down. Costello escaping the pressure, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Tack McKinley racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg him. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10.
51.
Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Going right side here, and that's complete. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 47-yard line.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
General West. 39.
Mike 58. Right.
They go play action now. Ryan. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And the timeout comes in with 2 seconds remaining. So they can trot out the field goal unit for the try before we hit the lockers. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And Bullock will put this one through. So we are at halftime here on Halloween, as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually...
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Ryan finding Julio out wide. 15 yards, first down, Atlanta. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
21. 22.
Watch twist. Watch twist.
61. Sub. Hey, echo.
Check go.
On first down, Ryan. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones, his second touchdown on the season. And the Falcons turn that interception into a touchdown. Here's Bullock now for the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Second and 10 now from the 27.
We own it. We own it. Now.
Throwing again. Costello. He hits his target. Left side, Watson. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up third and 5.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Hey, Delta.
Here we go. Mike 54.
Operating from the gun. Costello. And that is incomplete.
We're into the second half now. This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. $51 yards on the punt there. And the Falcons will be taking over first and 10. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 12 yards is the pickup, good for a first down for the Falcons. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it, but a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
They'll run it here with Smith. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now on 2nd and 13. Ryan, it's caught over the middle. Hooper. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a first down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
The former Maryland Terp, Jermaine Carter Jr., had the tackle.
Second and 9 at the 46-yard line.
Ready, Blue 80! Blue 80!
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
so well. Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Looking to throw. Costello. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. That's taken on the 25. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. And a loose football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
11. Come for it, son. Check. Kill. Turn. Hey, express.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Ryan. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. 17 yards and a first down for Atlanta.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the fourth. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
The end result was brute force on brute force. But think about everything that's going on if you're playing defensive tackle. You're dealing with at least one blocker across from you, trying to deal with him, shed him, and maybe even a second one before you have to try and make the tackle on the big guy.
25! 54, South!
Switch it, come on, switch it. Same. Check. Fresno.
On second down, it's Smith. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the fourth quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
Mike, 58, right there. I'm here all day.
And they take a knee.
It's a loss of a yard. And it's third down.
So first and second down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13.
Watch the screen.
And they will take a knee here.
Ready, Blue 80! Blue 80!
Come on, D.
And on 4th down, they come up and take the knee. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of it. That's just
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Takk McKinley, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Back to throw. Costello. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Takk McKinley in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. A 10th carry for Kamara. That'll be good for 6, but now it's 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. So it's Saints football as we get you reset, and they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. That's to his running back, complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
On 1st down, Costello. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Watson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Last play, they went over 20 yards. This time, they top 30. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Costello. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And Kamara has it stripped, and the Falcons grab it.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
Ready? 280.
58 to Mike. Watch the flag. Watch the flag. Watch the flag.
Ready to go.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
A loss of a yard on the play. And it's 3rd down.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Atlanta, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, the struggles intensify as they drop to 2-6 now on the year, and they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lap. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single brothers, that's 20 goons. And ice cream whip, triple school. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm a highly favored.